My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. And to read my writing and to see my latest CNN appearances and my MSNBC and RT appearances, you can go to hagoodman.com. I was just published in the Huffington Post. The article title is President Obama Should Pardon Red Fawn to Honor Standing Rock Water Protectors. It was also picked up by Yahoo, so please go ahead and share that article. It's below. And my latest appearance on CROSSTALK with Peter Lavelle is below as well. I'm very honored to be, this is my second time on CROSSTALK, and it was a great experience. Looking forward to more appearances, and very thankful to the producers and to Peter Lavelle and to CROSSTALK. So that's below. Please go ahead and share it if you haven't seen it. Ivanka Trump meets with Al Gore for climate policy meeting at Trump Tower. So that was a couple days back. Leonardo DiCaprio just met with Donald Trump pertaining to climate change. And Hillary Clinton is blaming fake news for Trump's victory. In addition to that, the Clinton campaign is also blaming Trump's, I guess, allure or white nationalists and racists who, I guess, like Trump for his victory as well. The reason that I presented this segment in the following manner is that on one hand, you have events that are taking place that completely undermine the narrative that it was only these racists that elected Donald Trump. First off, the same people the same white nationalists or white supremacists or racist individuals, they will always vote Republican. So in the 80s, the KKK even endorsed Ronald Reagan. Those types of people will always vote Republican. They're not going to vote Democrat, number one. Number two, the issue is now we see after a whole campaign full of Donald Trump is this racist ogre, but don't look at Hillary Clinton's 3 a.m. ad against Barack Obama. Don't look at the fact that she spread a photo of Barack Obama in African attire. Don't look at the fact that she took prison lobbyist money in 2015, or the fact that she used a campaign strategy. There was one campaign memo that says, let's paint Obama as a foreigner or someone who's outside the U.S. Political system. Let's forget about all those things and just say that Trump won because of racists and because of white supremacists. That is a very difficult and fake news. That's a very difficult narrative to evoke nowadays. I'll read you. Leonardo DiCaprio, Trump, talk climate change, December 8th. Leonardo DiCaprio met with President-elect Donald Trump on Wednesday to discuss climate change, adding to the mixed signals from the President-elect on the environment. DiCaprio's meeting with Trump only added to the mixed messages coming out of Trump Tower, particularly on the issue of climate change. On the same day of his meeting with DiCaprio, Trump tapped Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt, a climate change denier, to head the Environmental Protection Agency. So, in terms of Trump's cabinet, he's going to pick Republicans. Republicans, by and large, don't believe in climate change. This is why, based on the WikiLeaks emails, we know that Hillary Clinton had a Pied Piper strategy, that she wanted to elevate Donald Trump, that she worked and colluded alongside the media to ensure that Bernie Sanders would be defeated first in the primary. DNC WikiLeaks emails, we have Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigning, 4 other DNC officials resigning because they cheated Bernie Sanders. This is what happens, though, when you cheat the only candidate who could have defeated Trump, and then you get Hillary Clinton. So you're going to get somebody who heads the EPA who doesn't believe in climate change under a Trump administration. I don't want that. But I knew that was going to happen, and I predicted that, and I stated to everybody for a year and a half, if Clinton cheats Bernie Sanders, if it's not Bernie Sanders, then Donald Trump will become president, and all these things will happen. But the issue is he met with Leonardo DiCaprio, so he's not this insane right-wing ogre that is going to completely ignore the thoughts or the concerns of environmental activists. You might say, well, that's not enough. Fine. If you're progressive, you might say that's not enough. Fine, and I agree. I would like to have a Democrat in the White House. I would like to have Bernie Sanders, who really wanted to ban fracking, to implement like a green economy within the next 20 to 30 years. We're not going to have that now for the reasons that I stated, because of Clinton and the Democratic establishment cheating the only candidate who could have beaten Trump. But I'll read you also. Ivanka Trump meets Al Gore for climate policy meeting at Trump Tower. President-elect Donald Trump met Monday with outspoken environmentalist Al Gore following Ivanka Trump's private meeting with the former vice president. Trump spokesman Jason Miller had told reporters the president-elect. So President-elect Donald Trump met Monday with outspoken environmentalist Al Gore. So Donald Trump meets with Al Gore. He meets with Leonardo DiCaprio. He's going to go ahead and still implement a very conservative cabinet or a Republican cabinet. But when you talk about Jennifer Palmieri, the segment's all over the place, but it's very difficult to wrap your head around the fact that Clinton's campaign is still blaming white nationalists. And Trump has just met with Leonardo DiCaprio and Al Gore. So does that mean that Al Gore and Leonardo DiCaprio are white nationalists? I don't know. The narratives are so convoluted. Basically, she goes on to say she has an op-ed, one of a top Clinton campaign official. At Harvard, some of the Trump team crowed that we in the Clinton campaign and those in the press were foolish because we took Trump's words literally. That's right, we did. You should take a candidate. You should take a candidate for president's words literally. So when Hillary Clinton stated in the WikiLeaks email that she wanted to ring China with missile defense, is that really what she wanted to do? When she wanted to intensify the fight against ISIS and send ground troops, is that really what she wanted to do? When she stated that she supported the Trans-Pacific Partnership over 40 times, is that really what she wanted to do? She backtracked on that, and then she said she was against the TPP. See, if you take Hillary Clinton's words literally, she's the biggest flip-flopper on the planet. But I'll go on. You know who else took his words literally? White supremacists. The white supremacists who lauded Trump with cries of, "Hail Trump!" So they're going to find the biggest wackos on the planet, publicize their behavior, and then say that's indicative of 53% of white women who voted for Trump, 29% of Latinos who voted for Trump, 8% of black voters who voted for Trump, Wisconsin who voted for Trump, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, all these places voted for Trump. They voted for Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012. That's how bad Hillary Clinton is. So you take the narrative that it's fake news, and then she blamed fake news. Goes on to talk about how, in the Washington Post article, how fake news is the reason that, and in another interview as well, as fake news is the reason that people were duped into voting for Trump. It's not fake news, it's not white nationalists, it's not white supremacists, it's not racism. It's the fact that Hillary Clinton stood for nothing. The Democrats still stand for nothing. They don't want to break up too big to fail Mainz. They don't want to go ahead and reinstate Glass-Steagall. They don't want to ban fracking. President Obama barely helped the Standing Rock Sioux and the Dakota Access Pipeline. The only reason he did stop the pipeline was because veterans were joining the battle and the protests. So he hardly helped the water protectors, even after 2 women were injured for life. You never hear people like Jennifer Palmieri talk about Sophia Wilansky or Vanessa or all the people who suffered, or Red Fawn. You never hear the Clinton campaign or any of these quote-unquote progressives talk about freeing Red Fawn, who is being detained right now for a crime she didn't even commit, at least based on the video and based from what we can see. So based on what her family states in the article that I wrote today in the Huffington Post. So please go ahead and read that. The point is, there was a message, a populist message, in part that Donald Trump took from Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders would have won Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. He's a democratic socialist. If the Republicans tried to paint him as a socialist or communist, it wouldn't have worked. And if it's just about policies and issues in issues important to working class people, Bernie Sanders would have won every single debate, and he would have won the presidency. The DNC and Democrats lost. Now they have a very conservative Republican cabinet and a Republican White House. They're not racist. They are what they are. There could be some elements of racism, fine, but that's the Republican Party. Overall, Democrats have to regroup and realize that they sided with the loser. If they don't do that, they will lose in 2020. If it's not Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, or Nina Turner in 2020, they will lose again to Donald Trump. Give me your thoughts below. I was all over the place in this segment, but there's so many conflicting narratives that it's very difficult to just kind of focus on one thing. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening.